Welcome back to the channel. Today we'll be taking a look at the top 7 best-looking bobber motorcycles 2023. Number 7. BMW R18. The BMW R18. A cruiser that's as classic as your grandpa's vinyl collection. Now when you gaze at this bad boy, you can't help but notice it's a throwback to the 1936 BMW R5. They've even got that open drive shaft thing going on. An iconic move from BMW's history book. It's like they took a page right out of their own story. But wait, BMW isn't new to the cruiser game. They tried their hand with the R1200C before. However, this time, they're taking on the heavyweight champs like Harley-Davidson, Indian, Triumph Thunderbird, and others. Now let's talk about the guts of this beast. It's packing an air oil-cooled 2-cylinder 4-stroke boxer engine with a dash of old-school charm. The engine's got a displacement of 1802 cc, and it pumps out 91 horses and 116 pound-feet of torque. Fuel-wise, it can carry 16 liters, and it sips fuel like a gentleman, with a reported 5.6 liters per 100 kilometers. Now, when it comes to getting all that power to the ground, it's got a single-disc dry clutch and a 6-speed transmission with a shaft drive. The suspension and brakes play their part with a double cradle steel frame, telescopic fork, and all that jazz. So, there you have it, the BMW R18. A classic cruiser with a modern twist and just a pinch of retro charm. Number 6. Indian Chief Bobber. The Indian Chief Bobber, a motorcycle that's all about blending the cool factor of classic design with cutting-edge tech. It's got that retro vibe, but it's ready for the future. When it comes to looks, it's all about less is more. This bike keeps it lean and mean, tipping its hat to the good old days while shaking hands with tomorrow. You can check out its slick color options on the Indian Motorcycle website. Under the seat, you've got the Thunderstroke 111 engine, packing 111 cubic inches of power. It's fuel-injected and boasts a compression ratio of 9.5. With 108 pound-feet of torque, it's ready for some highway action or conquering the urban jungle. Now about fuel efficiency. It's a bit of a mystery, but some chatter on the Indian Motorcycle Forum hints that it can go over 200 kilometers before crying for a refill. Just remember, your mileage may vary based on how you roll and where you roll. The ride is as smooth as a buttered biker's dream, thanks to its suspension and brakes. In a nutshell, the Indian Chief Bobber is a rad, powerful machine that marries old-school charm with new-age tech. Number 5. Harley-Davidson Street Bob 114. The Harley-Davidson Street Bob 114. A mean, blacked-out bobber that's got the heart of a lion under its gray exterior. This bike isn't just any softail. It's the lightest of the bunch, packing on the Milwaukee 8 114 engine for a ride that's quick, nimble, and packs a punch. The Street Bob 114 isn't your granddad's Harley. It's a modern marvel built for those who crave chopper-style bikes with a hefty dose of horsepower. The rear fender is close-cropped, and the handlebars give you that cool, bad-to-the-bone look. The 2023 model even rocks annihilator cast alloy wheels in glossy black, so wire wheels are a thing of the past. Now let's talk power. The Milwaukee 8 114 engine is the big boss of softail power plants. With 114 cubic inches and 155 Newton-meter of torque, this engine roars with authority. Plus, it's got a shotgun exhaust and an air cleaner that's all about that high-flow life. This bike isn't stuck in the past either. It boasts modern tech like electronic throttle and LED lighting, not to mention an optional anti-lock braking system and cruise control on touring models. Overall, the Harley-Davidson Street Bob 114 is the epitome of chopper-style coolness. Number 4. Triumph Bonneville Bobber. The Triumph Bonneville Bobber is like a time machine on 2 wheels, taking you back to the cool 1950s and 60s bobber scene. It's got that sleek silhouette, stripped-down style, and a low stance that makes it look like it's got a no-nonsense tattoo. The whole thing is blacked out, from engine covers to sprocket covers, giving it that brooding bad boy look. Add in those wire-spoked wheels, wide flat bars, and a beefy front fork, and you've got a bike that means business. But here's the kicker. That floating aluminum seat. Not only does it look fantastic, but it's adjustable, so riders of all sizes can hop on this bad boy. Plus, the Bobber's got a bigger fuel tank and a chunky 16-inch front wheel, keeping that classic vibe alive. Under the seat, You've got a 1200cc engine with 77 horsepower. And it's got that old-school cooling fin finish, because why not keep things nostalgic, right? So, the Triumph Bonneville Bobber is the kind of ride that not only turns heads, but also takes you on a time-traveling journey back to the golden age of bobbers. Number 3. Kawasaki Vulcan S. The Kawasaki Vulcan S is like that cool cat of the motorcycle world. It's not just a bike, it's a blend of vintage charm and aggressive performance. With its 649cc engine, it's got the power to back up its swagger. Picture yourself cruising on this thing. It's designed to make you feel sporty and confident. Plus, it's not just any engine. It's a parallel twin one, the same kind you'll find in the Ninja and Versys models. Now when it comes to looks, the Vulcan S has a spade-shaped headlight that screams modern and sporty. The analog tachometer adds a touch of old-school class, and the LCD display gives you all the info you need. The engine has those classic cooling fins, even though it's water-cooled, just for looks, but it's cool. Now the back end isn't as impressive, thanks to that wide rear fender making the tire look skinny. But hey, you can't have it all, right? But here's the kicker. It's got a sport bike-inspired chassis and suspension. That means it handles like a breeze and gives you that sporty vibe you crave. Adjusting the rear suspension is a piece of cake with that preload adjuster, making your ride smooth and comfy. To sum it up, the Kawasaki Vulcan S is a bike that's all about vintage style and a punchy engine. Number 2. Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650. The Royal Enfield Super Meteor 650, a fancy cruiser-style motorcycle that's all about looking good while you ride. It's got a swanky semi-digital instrument panel, a windshield for that wind-in-your-hair experience, and seats so comfy, you'll want to take a nap. Plus, there's a cushioned pillion backrest for your lucky passenger. The Super Meteor 650 rocks, a steel tube frame designed by the folks at Harris Performance. It's got a non-adjustable Showa front fork and twin rear shocks with some travel to keep your ride smooth. Under the seat, they tweaked things, including some headwork, for that extra oomph. It's a 650cc twin-cylinder beast after all. To sum it up, the Super Meteor 650 is a head-turner with a premium design. Perfect for those long cruises. It's got the looks and the comfort, making it a standout in the world of motorcycles. Number 1. Indian Scout Bobber. The Indian Scout Bobber is sleek, stylish, and always ready for some action on the road. This bad boy is all about mixing sporty performance with everyday cruising comfort. First off, it's a blacked-out beauty that keeps that classic bobber look. The rear fender is short and sassy, just like its front fender counterpart. And those chrome engine heads are like the icing on the cake, adding a touch of bling to this beast. Don't worry, the Indian logo makes sure everyone knows you're rolling in style. Now, compared to its Scout sibling, the Scout Bobber comes with low-rise bars, chopped fenders, and a side-mount license plate. It's all about injecting some spice into your daily ride. Handling is a piece of cake, and the bike itself is a bundle of joy. The 100-horsepower engine has got more than enough oomph to handle its weight, which is about 554 pounds. That means you'll be zipping around like a pro. As for colors, you've got more options than a box of crayons. There's everything from black metallic to riot orange metallic, plenty to match your style and mood. To wrap it up, the Indian Scout Bobber is a minimalist-style machine designed for performance and everyday riding. And it's guaranteed to turn heads wherever you go. And with this, we have reached the end of this video. If you found it helpful, then make sure to like it and subscribe the channel for future upcoming videos.